Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today we're taking a look at converting units part 2. This is the second Chemquest in our Unit 2 note packet. So now we're going to start looking at some conversions. We're going to convert from non-base units to non-base units now. It's not as hard as it sounds. All you have to do is when we want to convert to a prefix to another prefix unit, you just convert to the base unit first. So you convert and then you finish the problem by converting to the unit in question. So we're just going to have to set up two t's. So when we do these problems, you're going to have two t's. The first t converts to the base. The second t converts to the unit in question. So we can start these problems. So question one, I have an example. These are your three steps. You can see I bolded the steps for you. So the first thing, we need to identify the base unit. To identify the base unit, we are going to use this table found in the first part, the first Chemquest. So to identify the base unit, we look at the unit. We have to identify what the K and what the M mean. So we look at our table. The K tells us it's kilo. The M tells us it's meters. So we know that the base unit is meters because kilo is a prefix. Oh, let me. Oh, so next we're going into the second part. So the second part we convert to the base unit. These are the same steps that we find in converting units part 1. I changed it. I made it two separate Chemquests. That's why it says above. It is converting units part 1, and it is these 4 steps that you find down here. So if we look, step 1, we start by writing a t. We write our t, and then we want to put what we're converting in the top left corner. We're converting 40 kilometers. Then remember, we need to write our units and our t so they cancel. To make them cancel, they need to be opposite of each other. Then what goes on top is the unit that we're converting to. So remember, we need to convert to the base unit first. The base unit is meters. So we put meters on top. Then we go to step 3. Step 3, we use our conversion table up here to find our conversion factor. So we know that we're using kilometers, so we look at the kilo row. Where it says base unit, we can substitute in meters. So if we read this across, it says 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So we can just write that over here. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Now we need to plug our values in. So the 1 is next to the km, so that's where we put the 1 right there. The 1,000 is next to the m, so we put a 1,000 there. And then we solve. Again, you just type this into your calculator, multiply the numerators together, multiply the denominators together, then divide. When you do that, you find your answer is 40,000 meters. Then the next step. So now we go into the third step. Now the third step is to convert from the base unit to the unit we're looking for. Again, same steps we just did. Step 1, set up our t. What we're converting to goes in the top left corner. We need to convert our base unit, so our 40k will go down there. And when I say 40k, k means 1,000, so 40,000 meters. Then we need to add our units to our t so they cancel. We put our meters in the bottom. Then what goes on top in the opposite section is the units that we're looking for. If we look, the problem is asking us to convert to centimeters, so we put centimeters on the top. Then we go back to our table to find our conversion factor. We look at the centi row. So the center row is right here. Where it says base unit, we can put in any unit. So we can substitute in meters because that's the base unit we're working with. Then it says 1 centimeter is 0.01 meters. So then we can write that over here to help us remember. 1 centimeter, 0.01 meters. Next, we just plug our values in over here. Next to centimeter, there's a 1. So we put a 1 next to the centimeter. Next to the meters, there's a 0.01. So that's why we put the 0.01. When you solve this, you have to multiply across multiply across the numerator, multiply across the denominator, and then divide. So what you're effectively typing into your calculator is 40,000 times 1, and then all of that is divided by 1 times 0.01. Remember guys, this 1 comes from right here. Underneath the 40,000, there really is a 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. So that is where that 1 comes from. So guys, what I would like you to do now is work through questions, the rest of the questions in this packet using the steps that we just talked about. There are not a ton of questions. Question 2 walks you through the steps just like I did. Then question 3 and 4, look back at the questions and use the same steps that we did. Question 5 is when we're going to start combining it. So if you see down here in question 5, you have your first one, question A, you're not converting to a second prefix. You're converting to a base unit. So in this question, you would only need 1 t. We can look at the same thing for B. You would look and see meters with no prefix, and then centimeters with 1 prefix. So again, that tells us 1 t. So then if we look down here at C, this is the first one where we start to see 2 prefixes. So you would have kilograms, so you see the prefix kilo, converting to milligrams. Right here, milli telling us milligrams. So in this problem, this is the one where you're going to need 2 t's. Remember when you're doing this, the first t goes to the base unit. The second t goes to the unit you're converting to. Make sure you guys show your work, show all of your dimensional analysis. That is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people to be able to type these into Google and get the right answer. I'm looking for the work, the dimensional analysis. If you don't show that, you are not going to get credit. So guys, like always, if you have any questions, please circle them and bring them to class. Write your question down. That counts as thinking about it, and then it tells me I know what to do to help you, so you will get credit if you write your question down if you get stuck. So like always, I'll end with a joke. So the joke today is, what kind of bagel can fly? A plain bagel. Well, I hope everyone has a good day. I'll see you in class. Bye.